Hey guys, welcome back to No Luck Garage. So today, Mike's over here and we're gonna play around with the, that's an intake, sure. We're gonna play around with the rear end a little bit more, and I have this rebuild kit out, and we're just gonna mess with this.
So violent. Ow!
Who put Loctite on these?
That'd be the wrong thing to do. Wait, there's more.
All of it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to take this gear off. We're also gonna count it to see. I don't know. I guess that's how you go about it.
Number.
Yeah.
Find it on there.
There should be a number on here somewhere. We're gonna see what it is. And this guy, there was a paper somewhere. There was a paper somewhere with this. I thought I read it only accepts like a 342 gear or something along those lines. I can't quite remember. We don't have enough stuff going on right now all at once.
The right thing and just.
Good stuff. Big old whiff of that stuff. That's strong. Oh man, Mike's gonna break my shit. What are you doing? He's somewhere somebody is printing right now. I mean, I don't know how else other than.
I mean, ideally it'd be a torch and just heat it up and.
Either heating it up or
top it, but when you don't got a torch.
We don't have a torch, we don't have a press. I'm just trying to make do with what I have, and I know somebody somewhere is going to be freaking out about how we're taking this apart, but
Might be caveman style, but it works.
it's going to get the job done. There it
Ideally.
is. Oh boy.
$1 million question, is that gonna fit that?
I don't know, bud. So we've already checked to make sure the axles slide in here, and they do. So that's good. And the bolt to hold the pin in came pre-Loctite, so that's cool too. If that doesn't work, I mean, there is a ring and pinion in it. What the hell are you doing? There is a ring and pinion in here. I just didn't want to get that far into it because this seal, nothing on this leaks. Nothing. So I didn't really want to get that far into it and have to mess with taking that out and re-shimming it, and I didn't want to get that far into it. I don't know how long this rear end's gonna last. My God, that stuff is rough. Just inhale that and go take a nap for a little while. Holy shit.
It might be the permanent nap, depending
Yeah.
on how much you inhale.
What are you doing?
What was that?
I don't know. Oh, it was the
Pin.
yeah.
You got heat,
No,
and you can't freeze this
no.
unit. Clean this
So what do you
really
think?
good and clean. Put it in the oven on like maybe 350, 375.
You think she's gonna let me
heat it
put
up.
the?
No.
She's not gonna let me put this in the
When
oven.
she's not home.
Yeah. How much do you think Dave would
Or
charge
we
me to-
clean it with welding gloves, put those on, and get a piece of metal band, hang it. You got a heater.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you think, guys? Do you think that'll work? Hang in this sink, get it all clean,
It's red hot in front of
hang it up in front of the salamander. It's 155,000 BTU. Do you think that'll work? That thing does get red hot. Aside from bringing it inside, putting it in the oven, which she will definitely disapprove of, or getting a hold of our local machine shop see if he'll press it on, but I don't really want to pay him anything, so that's out of the option. That's not an option. So I guess Mike's idea of dangling it in front of the salamander is probably going to be our best bet, huh?
Only heat we got.
Yeah, it's the only heat we got, so we're gonna have to go with it. And it's cold out today, so that works. We just open the door if it gets a little too warm. So we're gonna try to get some of this surface rust off from this thing real quick and clean that up a little bit, because it was sitting in that box for a while and it does have a little bit of surface rust on it. So we're gonna clean it up, figure out how to dangle it in front of the salamander, and then we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I had a phone call I had to take, and I come back in the garage 20 minutes later, and it's happening. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, Mike just went to town here. I saw him write something on the gear he's got in his hand, and something on the other gear. I don't... Okay, she's just about ready. So we're... burn a hole in my bench. Look at that thing. Smoke.
Can't get any more precise than that.
What size is this? What?
That's a 307.
That's the gear that came out of the rear?
307 in your truck, and those are 342 gear ratio in that box.
So my truck has a 307.
Yeah. 342 would have been better, but you would have to go and change the whole pinion and
right.
Do the whole set of it.
So that's not anywhere close to the gear ratio I thought it was. The only reason why I was hoping it was 373 is because I have 373s in my other truck that you guys haven't seen yet. And it seemed to be a really nice driving gear, really nice get around town, still have some oomph on the interstate, but that was also with a 4-speed with lockout or lock-up torque converter. But with this truck, like, I drove it back and forth to work, and you can go down the interstate at 70 miles an hour and be in third gear. This is a non-lockout torque converter, and be at $2,000 or so, step on it and it'd drop a gear and it'd be at, you know, $4,000 and it'd just scream, which is why I wanted to keep this gear. So that's interesting. I really did not expect that to be a 307. We're gonna wait for that to cool off and set up and clean those bolts off. I'm not even gonna clean them. They're just gonna get all nasty again. Maybe check the threads and make sure that part's good. We're just gonna send it. And all right, guys. So the posi and the gear have cooled down, and we're bolting it up, putting Loctite on the bolts. And Mike managed to catch this on fire, as I'm sure you saw from the thumbnail. He got a little overzealous with the starting fluid or the brake clean and the flame.
It needed heat.
It apparently it needed heat. So what we're doing right now is we just test fit that in there, kind of thinking either it's an extremely tight fit, which it kind of was coming out, or we're going to use a different shim here on either side. We're not 100% sure yet. We cleaned the cover up and painted it. I wanted to buy a different cover for the differential, but money is better spent elsewhere, as much as I would like to. Bud.
Click.
Those are great torque specs. Does that look like a terrible runny mess? Yep. That's okay, because we're gonna bake it on there. Rag! Where'd you put it? I got all excited about it. There it is.
Almost like, if you had like a parts washer, you could just put, if they made something where you could put like chemical into it and put parts and it'd clean everything off from it till it now.
Oh my God. As if I could win the lottery. That'd be great.
Yeah, then you could just buy one.
When we put this stuff on that gear and spin it over, from my understanding, what we're looking for is to make sure that the pinion and the ring gear are meshing correctly, that it's about centered in the ring gear as we can get, to make sure that it's not burying the pinion gear all the way into the ring gear, and make sure that it's not at the tip of it. So kind of middle ground of all options, I guess, would be ideal. we haven't done anything other than put the ring gear on the posi unit and drop it in here. We're using the same shims as the factory, the unit that came out of there. So of course, maybe having that knowledge, we should have put some of this on the factory setup before I even took it apart to see what it was, and then taking everything apart to see, as a reference point, something to go from.
Who does that?
But forward thinking, that's not a thing. Hindsight's 2020, right? You see what you're doing? I'm overexcited here.
Just send it.
All right. I don't know if there's a correct way to turn this.
Anyway. She's good. She is
Hang on, we're gonna go around
ever
again.
so slightly down in a little bit, but not horrible for a factory.
We'll go around a couple times.
Try one the other way. Put her in reverse. The axles aren't turning.
I know something's wrong here.
It looks right about.
Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah, that
pretty
doesn't
good.
look bad. It's up top a little bit more.
It
but,
might be the chunks too of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting pretty well full.
Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all.
No.
And it's grabbing it further in too, so that's good. It's not all the way up top. But I mean, that's pretty good. That's about. I mean, I couldn't ask for it to.
Yeah.
That couldn't be better. That's good. So yeah, we weren't looking to pull the pinion out. I liked the gear that was in that. I wanted to keep the gear that was in that. So that worked out pretty well. All we have left to do really is slap the cover on it. And in the meanwhile, I don't think I have any 80/90 weight. So there is an additive to put in this. And I'm gonna put this in there so next week or something when I get the 80/90 weight, I don't forget to put this in there. It'll already be in there. It's a friction additive. But stick around real quick. We're not done yet. Everything's tightened up. We double checked everything. Axles are in, C-clips are in, the cover's dry. We're gonna put the gasket on, throw the cover on it, and call that done. Other than painting it and cleaning it up, which is all to everybody's own preference, every part of me just wants to not even mess with it because the truck's gonna sit so low, nobody's gonna see it anyway. But we're just gonna clean it up a little bit and just, that's gonna be that. Thanks for sticking around. And I'm glad it all worked out good. Other than having to use a fire extinguisher because somebody's a pyro. I appreciate you watching and sticking around, hanging out with us. And unfortunately, nobody got to see Mike actually catch the thing on fire because I was doing something and he was doing something and I didn't know what was going on, and then couldn't put the fire out because I used that cheap, like speedy dry sawdust kind of stuff, and that was right below it. And then, yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, guys, have a good one.